Hello, Retriever fans, and welcome to the second edition of the Ryan Odom UMBC Basketball Show. Paul Mittermeier, along with UMBC head men's basketball coach Ryan Odom and Coach Black and Gold scrimmage last week as you guys prepare for your first game of the season. The first thing I want to start with you is talk about the unique perspective of kind of watching from the sideline as your assistants coached the Black and Gold scrimmage and what you gained by being able to do that.
And absolutely, we figured that it would be best to do it that way. That way I could kind of focus on both teams and be able to watch kind of how they react in game-like situations. And, you know, it also is a benefit too because our assistant coaches are so important to our program. Mm-hmm. It gives them an opportunity to grow and coach. They do a ton of coaching in practice, and it gives them a chance to coach the teams as well and feel what it's like to kind of, you know, interact with players during a game situation.
It was interesting. I was sitting right next to Nate and Griff, and they were very vocal. It was a little different on the other side with Bryce and Eric, as opposed to what Nate and Griff were doing with their players. It was just intriguing to watch kind of the demeanor of both sides.
Yeah, and everybody has their own style.
Yeah.
You know, there's certainly some coaches are loud and boisterous and yellers, and others are very, you know, quiet and reserved, and it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. And they all do a great job for me, so I'm very lucky.
Coach, a couple guys that stood out. Jordan Grant, for one, I thought had a real nice scrimmage, and he's an intriguing guy because he's a guy that plays the guard position, can run the offense, and then also can rebound. But I think the most telling thing for me was his ability to shoot the ball from long range, which we didn't see his ability to do that in the first 2 years he was here, but it seems like he's much more comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, Jordan's worked really hard on improving his shot, and he now understands kind of what shots are his within our offense, and he's doing a good job of taking the right shots, and that's very, very important for not only for him but for all of our players to kind of understand what their role is within the team, and he's doing that. He's doing a great job of. He had a wonderful practice the other day. He got in the paint a ton, and you know, stopped on 2 feet. We've really been working with him on that, and making sure that he's able to make the right decision when he gets into the paint, because we play at a fast pace, and sometimes you can make mistakes when you do play faster. And so you kind of, as you approach the basket, you got to slow down a little bit, and he's doing a great job of that and finding his teammates.
You have a number of guards, but when you look at the post players, one guy that stands out, Arkel Lamar, who's a guy that can not only play in the post and be physical in there, but also step out a bit and make difficult matchups because he can shoot the ball from the outside as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Arkel kind of has the best of both worlds. He's got a big body. He's got a college-ready body. He's got the ability to score around the rim. And he's also got the ability to drive it and shoot it from the perimeter. And he's only going to get better at that. So I'm excited that he's in our program and pleased with where he's at.
Give me maybe a couple good things and a couple bad things you were able to see from the Black and Gold scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the tale of two teams. The white team obviously played extremely well, you know, kind of from start to finish. They had a couple of stretches, you know, defensively where they didn't put their best foot forward. But, you know, it's hard because when you're watching both play, there's always a mistake really on every play. Because one team's scoring, one team's not. So we showed them film afterwards, and so they both got a chance to, you know, all of our players got a chance to see some of the positives from the game and then also some of the negatives, you know, where we can get better. Transition defense early in the season is never where it needs to be. A lot of games are won and lost early in the year based on transition defense. So we've made it a priority to work on that. Especially considering that we play at a faster pace. Our shots are going to go up quicker, so we've got to transition back and not be able to give up easy baskets to our opponents. 2
things stood out. 10 players scoring in double figures. I thought that was impressive. And 3 players with 6 assists. I know you want these guys to share the ball. In particular, I know you get excited when you see that high post, low post pass. And I know Will and the interior guys have been working on that for easy buckets on layups on the interior.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to be well-rounded, you know, as a basketball team on offense for sure, and that's going to require us to make shots from the outside, but also, you know, finish plays around the rim, and our guys are doing a nice job of that so far.
We talked about tempo. Talk to me about tempo, because I've always looked at it as the risk-reward factor. You're obviously, when you up a tempo, are going to have turnovers, but you risk that by the reward of getting those easy baskets and being able to get those transition baskets that are much easier than when you have to go into a half-court set against a very set defense. Like a lot of these teams in the America East are physical, strong teams that thrive in that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly, as you look back, from last year, the teams that were successful, a lot of the teams, they play the games in the 60s and low 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to have to adjust. We're going to have to play well in order to compete. But, we do play fast, and, sometimes there will be mistakes, and we've got to play through those mistakes. What you can't do is let one mistake become two, become three in a row because you're still worried about, the one before. So we've got to play a confident game.
How set are you at this point with tomorrow's game against Hood, your first game of the season? How set are you on player rotations and depth of team? I mean, are we looking at 8 deep, 9 deep, 10 deep? And how does tempo affect how many players you're going to play in a game?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things affect it, to be honest. I mean, do guys get tired? Do I have to sub them out? Is foul trouble, injuries? I mean, there's all kinds of factors that go into how many guys we end up playing. The one thing that we've tried to focus on is that we're a team, and whoever's called upon to play in the game, they've got to do their best. And everybody else that's not in has got to make sure that they're cheering that guy on who is in there. And they've done that so far, and I'm most important looking forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely. As we get ready to tip off, and you've come in here, we've had these conversations. You really didn't look at what happened in the past. You're basically looking at these guys and what they're doing right now. Has there been anything that surprised you? Has it been what you've expected, or have some guys really stepped up and you said, "Wow, didn't realize what I had here when I walked into this job at UMBC"?
Yeah, I mean, they've all surprised me. I mean, in a positive way. I mean, we have great guys in that locker room, and guys that are willing to, listen and be coached. We have guys that are willing to work and put the work in that it's going to take to be successful this season, not only this season, but in years to come. And I think we've got some good, talented basketball players. We have skill. We've got to rebound the ball this year to be successful, I think. And defend, at a high level if we want to have a chance to be a factor. But, our guys should not be feeling any pressure right now. The expectations, from an outsider looking in are not that great. Mm-hmm. And so we've got to use that, and we've got to try to work through it and do our best to kind of prove some people wrong.
Do you have any game day routines that you go through before
as a coach or
a team?
As a coach. Not typically. I mean, I like to get a workout in, on game day, relieve some of the stress, leading up to it. But I'm pretty low key. I just like to get ready for the game.
How was your? And I know people that know me will enjoy this question. How was your first experience with the officials at UMBC? On the black and gold scrimmage.
It was good, and they were great after, actually.
All right, you guys got together afterwards, right?
We got together. They got a chance to talk to our players, and our players got a chance to ask questions about some of the new rules that might affect our team. So, and others this year. So I was very, very impressed with the way they handled things.
It's a bit of a challenge. Hood on Friday, tip-off is at 2. Then you travel to UMES and then come back for Del State on Wednesday. So 3 games in 6 days. How does that affect the mentality of having to play that much in a short span?
Yeah, I mean, mental toughness. I mean, that's what we're all here for. We want to play games. We want to play as many games as we can, and long into the season, deep into the season, and you're going to have days where you've got to play. You take a day off and then you play another one. And we're going to have that within the America East. So I wanted to challenge our guys early in the season so they have a feel for it. So later on, they're not surprised and not ready for it.
Talk to me about Hood. I know they have a couple kids from Calvert Hall here in Baltimore that are freshmen that are on their team. And, they lost to Mount St. Mary's 89-65. And I guess the one guy that stood out off of their bench was Drew Billingsley, who scored 17 off the bench, was 6 of 7 from the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they have a lot of good players, and they're very well coached. I've been very impressed with watching them, over the last, several days, getting ready for the game. I think we're going to see a spirited effort by them. Anytime, I was a player in that type of situation, when you're playing Division III at a lower level, and then you're able to go up and play against a Division I team. Well, that's kind of your, not one shining moment, but it's a great opportunity for them. And so, our thought is, my stance with the team is we respect every opponent that we play. And, we've got to treat them no different than any team that we're going to play all year. And we've got to attack and play our game and be confident in who we are.
Last thing for you, Ben Grace joins us after the break. Let's talk about Ben, walk-on senior, and really has some leadership skills. Comes from a family of 5 boys. His dad was a big part of what he's done and what he's accomplished on the basketball court. And like I said, it has to be nice to know you have that kind of kid on your team that's able to help others and still be a good basketball player as well.
Absolutely. Ben's great. I'm very fortunate to have him. We're very fortunate at UMBC to have him here at our school and then also part of our basketball program. And he's been a ton to me personally and to our staff since we first arrived. It's his senior year. It's his last go-round, and he and Will both.
Yeah.
And those two are tight, and I think they're excited about what's to come and what the prospects are for the season. And they're stepping up from a leadership perspective. You need that. You need to have great senior leadership in order to have a solid team.
No doubt. Coach, everyone's looking forward to the game against Hood and tip-off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
You got it. We come back from the break. We will be joined by UMBC senior guard Ben Grace. We'll talk to him. You're watching the Ryan Odom UMBC basketball show right here on UMBCRetrievers.tv. Welcome back to the Ryan Odom UMBC basketball show. Now joined by UMBC senior guard Ben Grace. Ben, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
You're the first. We just went video this year. You're the first guest on the video side, so no pressure or anything.
Yeah,
okay.
No,
all right. Ben, first of all, talk to me about your senior year and kind of what you're thinking going in and kind of what you're trying to get accomplished here in your senior season.
Over the last 3 years we've struggled a little bit, and I want to win some games. We haven't won that many games since I've been here. New staff, a lot of new faces, so I'm excited. I think we can win some games this year.
10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in the black and gold scrimmage. That's not a bad day. Talk about playing against the teammates and kind of how everything went for you guys last week.
We're still trying to feel each other out. Black and gold scrimmage was good. We got to see some of the good things we've been working on and some of the things we need to improve on. So just playing in the system, running fast, getting out, running the court, sharing the ball. So that's what we're trying to do.
Take me back to when the coaching change was made and kind of, has it been tough for you? I mean, this is your senior year, things get changed. What were your thoughts going into Coach Odom coming in, and kind of where are you at now after seeing everything he's implemented and getting ready to actually play basketball here in 2016?
Well, it's never easy going through a coaching change, and Coach Ock and the boys, I got really close with them over the last 3 years, so that was hard. But when I heard we were getting Coach Odom, I kind of knew a little bit about his system, and we were excited. So when he got here, and we started working out, and we started seeing how things were going to go, we were really excited to see what we could do.
It would seem as though it kind of fits the strengths of your game. You'd like to shoot the three. You're good at it. He emphasizes that in his offense. He likes to play up-tempo. It would seem that it kind of favors what your game is.
Yeah, it favors a lot of guys on our squad. So Jarris getting out and pushing the break, Rodney, KJ, pushing the break, me, Malcolm, Joel getting to the corners, Will trailing, just getting a lot of open threes. But we really need to get the inside game too. We don't want to be one-dimensional. That's what we've been trying to work on, not just shooting the three, but also getting into the lane and doing other things.
Interesting, because this year is a lot of bodies. You've gone through seasons where you've played 7, 8 guys. You've gone through a season where you were the last guy and you were like number 6.
Yeah.
How nice is it to know that you have 15, 16 guys and that you guys can lay it on the court for 40 minutes and not have to worry about it?
Yeah, it's really nice. Couple years there, we could barely even practice because we didn't have enough bodies. We didn't want to get hurt. But this year we got 15, 16 guys competing in practice every day, making each other better. And if one guy goes down, the next guy's got to step up, and everybody's ready to do that.
All right, so going through Twitter yesterday, and here comes, boom, Ben Grace pops up on my screen, the trick shot challenge. Talk to me. What is the trick shot challenge? And I think what your shot was, you shot the ball over top of the entire stanchion of the basket, correct?
Yeah.
And got it through. So tell me about this whole trick shot challenge thing.
The trick shots challenge is just something that the America East does. We've done it the last 2 years. Every team has a trick shot. So I don't know. We used to play horse, me and Will and Coach Green, all the time. So I have a couple shots up my sleeve, but that's my go-to.
That's your money shot, though.
Yeah, that over the.
That's
over
like what, 30, 35 feet, right? At least.
I don't know, but that's been my go-to to put somebody away in horse for the last 4 years.
Well, would you be willing to share the repertoire, what you got as far as horse goes, with the audience? I mean, what's some of your stuff that you got playing horse?
Off the shot clock.
Okay.
Over the basket. Just deeper threes, bank threes. But if we get in close and do some things that require athleticism, I'm a little challenged in that area.
Well, I mean, when you're taking on a guy like Will Darley, you're giving him what, 8 inches, right? 9 inches. So there's things that obviously that he's gonna be able to do better on the interior.
Yeah.
What about your relationship with Will? You guys are going out together this year as seniors. I know you guys are tight. I know you guys. You're always competing with each other shooting the basketball. Who's the better shooter right now?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't want to comment on that one. I really don't.
Okay.
I have my days. He has his days.
Okay.
So.
I've heard that he's actually extended the range a little bit, though.
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've always, when we get in here and shoot with each other when we're just getting extra shots up, we always try to back it up and see how far we can shoot and be good shooters.
Last time we were together was the America East tournament up at Stony Brook, and Will Darley had a night.
Yeah.
Take me through that as he was just carrying the team on his back, 8 threes, 32 points. I think at one point he turned around, and I'm pretty sure I saw him do the Jordan, where he just kind of put his hands in the air. Take me through that night and kind of how special that was.
I've been with Will for 4 years. We came in together, and everybody knows that he's capable of that every night. It's just sometimes first shot doesn't go in.
Right.
But when the first shot goes in for him, it's going to be a good night. And we saw it up at Stony Brook, 8 threes. It's just that, but that's what he's capable of, and everybody knows it.
When you look at that kind of stuff, it has to excite you, the tempo that you guys are playing at. And I kind of watched the black and gold scrimmage. It's almost like they have to implore you to keep the tempo going because you're not used to having to get up the court that quickly every single possession.
Yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment. I mean, last year we played fast at times, but this year it's every time sprint the court. And Coach Amenta has done a great job getting us into shape. Mm-hmm. We're in better shape than we've ever been, and it's going to be a fun year.
All right, off the court. So Michael, Nick, Zach, and Sam, 2 older brothers, 2 younger brothers.
Yes.
You are right in the middle. Is that an advantage to you or a disadvantage to you?
It's an advantage to me. Growing up, watching them play and learning from them and what they wish they could do better, and being able to practice that when I was younger, and then also teaching the younger ones what I have picked up from college basketball and trying to help them just be a better player.
How great has it been to have them here and be able to play in college where they can come out and watch every game and kind of be there and support you?
It's great. I mean, they're at every game. I was just texting them. Zach and Sam are upset they can't make the game tomorrow because they're in school. So it's really fun to have sometimes 10 people in the crowd for me. So it's really exciting.
Nice. Your dad, Michael, talk about him and kind of how he's influenced your basketball career and kind of what he's meant to you as you've made this journey through high school and college.
Well, he was my coach since I was 4 until I got to high school. So we would always be in the gym late nights working on the game. And then when I got to high school, he was still right there. He would work out with me extra whenever I wanted to, drive me over to the gym. So it's just been a long journey together, and to have some success in college is really special to share with him.
And share it to the fans too, not just you, but what your dad does. He helps others too, and it's amazing what he does. And kind of talk about what he does with the gym and helping others as well with what he does.
Well, my family we just really love basketball, and we've been lucky to just have the gym over in Lansdowne, Leadership Through Athletics, and we just want to share our experiences and our knowledge of the game and just help other people grow as basketball players and as people and just make them successful in life.
It's awesome what your dad's doing in that regard. I know that Coach Odom came in, he said, and look, I don't look at anything in the past. I'm just judging these guys by what I'm seeing on the court right now. But you have let them know about the Binghamton thing, right? That 17 and 17 in 2014 against the Bearcats, right? You got to drop that little hint on them?
No, I don't really think about that much. It's just I got some opportunities to make some open threes, and they went in.
Awesome.
So.
Have you thought about the fact that this is it, and now you have to actually go out and get a job now? And I mean, what are your plans? What are your plans moving forward?
Well, as we speak, I'm applying to law school, so that's what I want to do next. But yeah, it's crazy to think tomorrow is my first game. And it's just been a long ride, but it's been fun, and I just want to go out on a high note this year.
As far as being an athlete is concerned, I don't know how many people know this, but not just a basketball player, but football, soccer, baseball. You're one of the few, I think, that you were one of the kids, right, that was on the soccer team, but then went to the football coach and said, "Wait, I can kick field goals too," and actually were pretty good at it. How much did that other stuff, playing soccer, playing football, playing baseball, how much does that help you play basketball?
I don't know if it helped me necessarily, but to be able to get away from basketball sometimes.
Sure.
I don't know if I played year round, I don't know if I would love it as much. I might get tired of it. But when I was out playing soccer and at the end of soccer season, I was really excited to get back to basketball season.
Right.
So it always kept me ready to get back in the gym and work on my game.
If it's not basketball, what's the second favorite? Is it football, baseball, or soccer?
I was a pretty good baseball player at Gilman. I was a middle infielder, and I just loved the game. If I wasn't playing basketball, I would try to be playing baseball somewhere right now.
Outstanding. Ben, appreciate some time. Good luck for the 2016-2017 season. We're anxious to see you guys out there getting it done.
Thanks.
You got it. Ben Grace joining us here on the program. Don't forget, next week we'll be back again for another edition of the Ryan Odom UMBC Basketball Show. Games for UMBC this week. Hood College coming into the RAC. Also, UMBC traveling to Maryland Eastern Shore on the weekend. And then right back at the RAC Arena Wednesday to take on Delaware State. I'm Paul Mittermeier saying so long. You've been watching the UMBC Basketball Show, the Ryan Odom UMBC Basketball Show, here on UMBCRetrievers.tv.